Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And yeah, I became a victim of clickbait today on Crypto Panic. I'll tell you, this space does tire me because this particular video, I just don't understand it at all, how someone like this person actually received any exposure with a link on Crypto Panic. At the 3-minute 15-second mark, you can see that he says that the use case of XRP is not going to benefit the average investor, and that if banks use the token, it's not going to affect the price. So who is this guy? When I take a look at the 15 videos that he released this month, I can instantly tell from his titles that he is not at all qualified to have a link on the Crypto Panic's aggregator news site. What a shame. The person who can answer that the best is David Schwartz, and he did so in January 2018 when he was asked if a large amount of banks were to adopt xRapid and start using XRP, how would that impact the token's value? Now, you know David never hypes, and what he said here is it could create a significant source of additional demand. And if xRapid is broadly adopted, that means that a significant number of international payments use XRP as an intermediary asset in the payment. So he talks in this complete answer about the trillions of cash that is just stashed all over the world. The reason why it is stashed is because there is the correspondent banking partnerships, and XRP eliminates this totally. And this is very clear when we look at the swell interview by Jay Kim, again, for his podcast, where Brad Garlinghouse, when he was interviewed, said that so we really feel like little by little, we're going to have the ability to take that 10 trillion all the way down to 9 trillion to 8 trillion. And this is a journey that can take a few years, but we're extremely enthused by the progress we've made in a comparatively quick period of time. What is that quick period of time? Only 1 year. That is only how long ODL has been in production. So if this happens, as David explains, then XRP can be purchased and it can be kept in piles, and it can be used for when someone has an outbound payment. So that instead of keeping piles of money all over the world, they can hold one pile of XRP. If a bank or a company doesn't want to hold it, well, this is me speaking, remember a market maker or an exchange like Bitso is going to provide that on-demand liquidity. Here is the liquidity index for Bitso XRP and the Mexican peso in the last 28-day moving trend. And again, it's got a very nice trend. It's showing you that it is being used, and this particular corridor is brand new. So in a marketplace where liquidity needs to be immediate, someone has to hold it. And as Naveen Gupta said in his interview yesterday, there are 30 to 50 heavy corridors. We can see in the World Bank, in their new report this year, the top remittance recipients are India with 79 billion, followed by China, 67 billion, Mexico, 36 billion, Philippines, 34 billion, and Egypt, 29 billion. We know that ODL is currently live in Mexico and the Philippines. This is why there is so much attention paid to when a new ODL corridor opens up. So an exchange, a bank, or a market maker is going to hold XRP, providing that liquidity. And going back to the original point made by David, this could create a significant source of additional demand. Where else does demand lie? Well, in the platforms like the new Songs app that just went into the beta mode this weekend, where musicians can upload their music and get monetized with XRP. There's also Coil, there's Cinnamon Video. There's Forte. They are a huge player in the gaming industry. There's the XRP tip bot. There's hedge funds. There are speculative traders, both retail and institutional. It's the entire XRP ecosystem that drives demand. But in this video, I'm going to stick to remittances. So how many correspondent banking partners does a bank have? Here is a list of partnerships that are held by the Philippine National Bank. They have 85 countries that they are partnered with. And when you click on one of those countries, like the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, you can see that they have 20 partners in that country. And do they park money in all 20? Well, maybe not all, but probably with many. So I do think that, speaking of the UAE, we have some good news. On the 21st of November, we find that Abu Dhabi recently launched a regulatory laboratory to encourage cutting-edge fintech solutions for leading financial institutions, specifically addressing the emergence of new technologies, namely crypto assets. This is why regulatory clarity around the world also matters. So clarity is not if, but when. And when it does happen, XRP will be able to light up all those corridors that Ripple is securing. So why would banks rush to use XRP? It ain't the money, it's the money. Cutting prices of remittances by at least 5 percentage points can save up to $16 billion per year, according to the World Bank. You can see that in their remittance prices worldwide. This is a really great website. And it's pretty simple because the banks and the money transmitters, they have to compete for business. And not only do they have to stay lean and mean by reducing their parked capital, but the choices available for securing cross-border remittances is a very competitive service. Here, when I look at the corridor for sending money from Saudi Arabia to Nepal, we can see that that site provides us a breakdown. So MoneyGram, for example, if you take cash to an agent, it can be delivered in cash, again, within the hour. The fee is $5.05. You've got a 1.96% margin on the exchange rate, and you've got a total cost of $14.85. If we look at Western Union, they are going to charge a total cost of $17.55. Why the difference? Primarily because Western Union has a very poor FX rate. So I guess I want to say, for me, it's not when moon, but when does the 10 trillion parked become 9 trillion, and then 8 trillion, and so on. So these heavy corridors, if we can get into 30 of them, the ones that Naveen Gupta said exist out there, and we have an ODL solution, well, then we're getting into some numbers that mean there are a lot of piles of XRP. Banks, businesses, and money transmitters, they're all going to draw off that, or they will manage it themselves. So I think I want to have a few takeaways for this video, and that is there are 24 companies and banks. Yeah, the interbank in Peru announced at Swell that they are going to be a user of the on-demand liquidity, that we are going to see this continue to grow. I am not giving you any hype, but the cryptocurrency space is full of these so-called experts that aren't. So please do your own research. You can see the remittance flows on this site. This is an interactive site that is just really great. You can go country by country and break it all down. There are, 3 billion in remittances that was sent to Peru in 2017. So there are no guarantees. XRP, yeah, it looks like it's on its way to adoption, and it is happening, whether it's quickly or slowly, depending on how you look at it. Let me put it into perspective for you. In 1996, just 1 out of 10 people had an email address. And then 5 years later, the adoption rate was about 50%. But in 2001, when it was 50%, email had celebrated its 30th anniversary. Do I think it's going to take 30 years? No, especially when I hear from the CEO of, or actually it was from the Chief Global Operations Officer at MoneyGram, said that they have leveraged on-demand liquidity on RippleNet to dramatically reduce their operational cost and processing global payments at unprecedented speeds. I think that this is the right project to follow. And I just will do my best to give you facts and not hype this project. But when I do come across content creators that are spreading in misinformation, I feel compelled to correct that. Okay, everybody, I am jumping to the fluff. There is really funny app today that was released. There is a new train commuter app, and it lets riders fight the flab en route with a workout. Yeah, it's called Train Ing app. So it lets you select the station where you get on and where you are going to get off, and then it allows you to put in your seat location or strap, and the app will suggest exercises suitable for that area. It's really funny. It's on this particular line here, which is called the Yamanote line. The Yamanote line is this very unique green in color, and you can see that that green is even brought in through the interiors. So if you're standing here shoulder to shoulder with other commuters, I'm curious. I'm going to try this app. I'm curious as to what kind of exercises that it suggests. And I wonder if it's smart enough to know if the train at that time that you're on it is packed or if it's relatively open. I wonder about this. So the Yamanote line is the line that you will most definitely be familiar with if you come to Tokyo. It is the inner line, and it gets you to wherever you need to go. That is part of the experience of Tokyo. And I want to just give you a little bit of a tip, and that is Shinagawa. When you are on this line, you can go to Shinagawa. You don't have to go on the other side of the gates, and there is a wonderful, wonderful shopping and food court that you can buy bento and get delis and the most amazing sweets. And the one thing in particular you can find there is the very, very rare banana gold Tokyo Kit Kat. This is a caramel flavor with a hint of banana taste, and it is so yummy. But this is one of the rarest ones to find, and you can find it at Shinagawa. Okay, everybody. Yeah, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.